Hello and welcome to my channel, Rebel9. A little bit of a rant video today. Today I'm going to be talking about Battlestar Galactica, the remade series, the re-image series. Now I basically want to just talk about what I didn't like. Well, I didn't like the ending of the series, and this has been an issue that has been burning me since the series ended in 2009. It is, I've spoken this to people at work and on the internet, people will listen, but I've never really done a video. I've been meaning to do a video, so now I'm going to do that video. Right, what I'm going to talk about is some of the issues that really irked me, and one of the issues that irked me was the final 5 Cylons. That was one issue, the final 5. Now, Helen Ty, I know a few people were annoyed that Helen Ty was a Cylon, but however, in the first series it was alluded that she was a Cylon. It weren't the episode Walter, I think it was an episode after that, I can't remember the name, but basically they did a test on her, and it came out, Gaius Baltar devised this test, and he said, oh, she's not a Cylon, she's human, but however, Caprica 6, the one in his mind, which turns out to be an angel, but we'll get to that one later, said, oh, what did the test results really say? Well, if you're a freaking angel, you should know. But, he never answered that, so that sort of alluded to the fact that she wasn't human, she was a Cylon. And which sort of goes on to sort of what annoyed me about the other 4 Cylons. In fact, not really annoyed me. Soul Tie, for instance, I thought that was a fantastic choice for one of the final Cylons. He refused to accept it, and then he accepted it, went to Adama, and Adama went all apeshit on his best friend. I thought that was good. Tyrell, Chief Tyrell, Jesus Christ, hasn't he had enough problems with Cylons with that ex-bird of his Boomer turning out to be one? I didn't really understand the logic for that one. And then you had the other 2. What's his name? Samuel Anders. What was the point of him being a final Cylon? I just couldn't understand why that was. What was the reasoning behind that? I just don't understand that. And then you had Tori Foster, who was aide to President Roslin. Again, I think when it came to them 3, I think they just picked names out of a hat because everyone knew at the time. I think Dweller, Anastasia Dweller, was meant to be one of the final Cylons. Maybe not the final 5th one, but one of the Cylons. Because I think people sort of discovered this at the first series when, during the pilot, when actually Anastasia, I think in Latin or Greek or something, actually means resurrection. And because people knew, oh, she's got to be one of them, the producers went, the executive producer went, oh, well, we can't really use her. Everyone knows. So why don't we try and, confuse everyone and not pick her? Which really annoyed me because, I think she could have been a fantastic Cylon. Oh, sexy as hell she is. But anyway, let's go back to what else I want to talk about, which again revolves around the whole final 5 Cylons, which turned out to be that they were from the original Earth, the 13th tribe that colonised Earth. Not our Earth, of course, which later transcends to where the colonies finally settled on, but the original Earth that the 13th tribe settled on, which I just, again, was, what? What, did you just, pick something out of a hat? What sort of fucking bullshit is that? Which turns out that the skin jobs of, well, certainly the one who played the Reverend in it, what's his name? Dean Stockwell's character. Cavill, that's his name. Cavill, who knew that these 5, the final 5, were originally from the 13th tribe, from the original Earth. Yet, how come that he knew and no one else did? I just really, that wasn't explained. How was there an interaction? How did these 5 people, or 6 people really, from Earth, came to being in the other 12 colonies. How did they get there? How, this wasn't explained. And then you had like another thing that annoyed me was this, 2,000-year-old fight, 10,000, whatever many thousand-year-old sort of love story between Soul Tie and Ellen Tie, and oh my god, when that came about, it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, typical Hollywood. But again, this isn't explained. How, why don't the other skin jobs know about this? Which again sort of gets to me, because how, they were Cylons on Earth. But hang on a minute, if they were Cylons on Earth, how did they interact with the Cylons of the 12 colonies? That is never explained in any way, and that really annoyed me. That puts a great big plot hole into everything. I mean, they tried to explain this, like the skin jobs in Razor, in the episode of Razor briefly, where the Cylons capture these humans and are experimenting on them, which I think, sort of explains the hybrids on the base ships, but it don't really explain the skin jobs, which was a sort of loose attempt at it, but it weren't, because later on in the episode, Razor, it actually shows the original hybrid, which again, I don't know, that just, if someone can explain that to me in any great detail, I'll be obliged, or link me to a video that explains it. I will be happy, because this has sort of really been annoying me for some time now. And of course, another thing that really annoyed me about what they did with the series, which I sort of redeemed a bit in the next sort of couple of episodes, but it did annoy me at the time, and I really thought, right, I'm not going to watch it no more. It was in the middle of season 4. Dwella just shot herself. After they discovered Earth, Dwella just shot herself. And it was like, what? You just killed my favourite character. You bastards. But the writing team actually sort of, they redeemed themselves in the fact that with her death, it sort of set off a chain of events. It was the attempted mutiny by Gator and Tom Zarek, who is a fantastic character. I thought bringing Richard Hutchin to play that role, after he was goody two shoes in the original series, could do no wrong. I thought that was inspired. I thought that was brilliant. But again, it started off this track, like this mutiny on the ship, and it started of Dharma's massive drinking binge. He went down the Soul Tie route of just drinking, and he just started sort of going going into this sort of depression all through her death, which I thought, okay, you sort of redeemed yourself a bit there. But it's still, as the series progressed, it went a bit sort of left field. It went a bit pants, in my opinion. It wasn't until the final episode that it looked like they were going to redeem themselves. That final assault on the Cylon base to rescue the child, and that was the highlight of season 4 for me. Apart from the mutiny episode, which was good, and then the final episode, everything else in between was really pants. Which actually gets me back to another point with Gator. At what point was he gay? It turns out he was gay in a gay relationship. But hang on a minute, how does that work? I just really, it was almost like some of the writers were just throwing things in. It's like, oh, hang on a minute, we've got the mixed relationships. We had 2 mixed relationships actually, but we don't have 2 strong black characters to have a relationship with. So I know what we'll do. We'll have a gay relationship. Well, but hang on a minute, who are we going to pick? I don't know. We'll pick Gator, and we'll just create this whole new character. And I don't know that. No, not against having gay people in a series, but come on, at least make it relevant to the series, or relevant to the story. Which it just wasn't. It was like, oh, we'll just throw this in, and it just was never, and it was never developed either. It wasn't developed on, so it sort of made it, irrelevant to the whole story, and it was redundant. Okay, so now let's get on to the actual final episode, the final scenes where they found a planet which they called Earth, our Earth, where we are living now, because they apparently were the ones who started off the whole, Greek religion and all that sort of thing. And you had, first of all, they landed and they went, oh, I know what we'll do. we're not going to pass on our sins to the people of this world who were human, but we're going to send our ships into the sun, and we're going to denounce our own technology. We're going to split up and spread out and not bother building this city that we're planning, and just spread out and mate with the indigenous population. And I thought, what a load of pansy bollocks. And, I thought this was a total missed opportunity to create, say, a city of Atlantis, which later turns out to get destroyed by some renegade Cylon ship or something, I don't know. But, they could have done something better, and it really annoyed me. And it later transpired that, well, actually, their best efforts turned out wrong, because they did actually contaminate the human race, and on this planet are, our indigenous ancestors, and we just basically got all their sins and all this nonsense, and stuff. But that sort of annoyed me, that sort of wishy-washy ending. And then, it came at, these two, the Captor 6 in Gaius Baltar's mind that turned out to be an angel, and the Gaius one in Captor 6, the Cylon one, turns out to be angels. And it was like, oh my god, that didn't annoy me too much, because actually, if you watch the original series, they sort of touched on this, but they didn't call themselves angels or God, as it were. They were interdimensional beings, which, if you actually watch a video on YouTube called Hidden Human History, it actually explains quite a lot about these interdimensional beings and how they were once like us, but they evolved into a higher plane of existence, and that's what explains it more. And if you ever watched Indiana Jones and the Crystal Maze, that explains a bit of it as well. But basically, that's what these sort of two, were meant to be, but it was more along of a religious sense on the fact that they were angels. And again, that was another thing that really, I didn't really understand that at all. Okay, that was the end of my rant. I don't think there was anything else I really needed to cover. I just want to say that I actually did love the series. The pilot episode, when it first came out and I first bought it, I watched it back to back. I watched it once, I loved it, I watched it again, and I can't tell you how many more times I've watched it, because I don't know, hundreds, at least hundreds, I won't say thousands, but hundreds of times. And series 1, I watched that time and time and time. I watched it so many times the discs don't work no more. Seriously, I worn them out. Series 2, I actually took time off to watch. Bought the box set and just took time off to watch. And I've been a huge fan of Battlestar. And season 3, alright. First few episodes when they were on that planet, and I didn't really enjoy. I didn't enjoy the old planet episodes. I think it was not until like the rescue scenes and after that I started to go, okay, right, it's starting to get a bit better now. Series 4, as I said before and earlier, only 1 or 2 episodes of season 4 I liked, and the rest were basically pants. But anyway, that's my opinions. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the video I've just presented. Sorry it's been so long, but when you're so passionate about something, and this is something that I've been wanting to say since 2009, since the end of Battlestar Galactica, and now finally it's off my chest. I will not mention this on YouTube again. Thank you.